Good evening everyone. Welcome to Arihant Academy YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Devang Parikh and I'll be discussing NEET UG 2022 biology paper. We'll be discussing the solution of zoology section. I'll be discussing paper code Q6. Okay, so let's start with the questions. Question number 151. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, fatty acid and glycerol cannot be absorbed into blood, and statement 2 is specialized lymphatic capillary called lacteals carry chylomicron into lymphatic vessel and ultimately into the blood. So now here the correct answer would be both the statements are correct. That is statement 1 and statement 2 both are correct. As you know, fatty acids are water insoluble, so they are not directly absorbed into blood. So first they are converted to chylomicron and then they get absorbed. Next, 152, again a statement. The release of sperm into the seminiferous tubule is called spermiation. So this statement is correct. Statement 2, spermiogenesis is the process of formation of sperm from spermatogonia. Now this statement is incorrect, because you know spermiogenesis is formation of sperm from spermatids and not spermatogonia. So the correct answer would be option 3. Statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. Next, 153. Which of the following is not the function of conducting part of respiratory system? So the correct answer is 4, which is it provides surface for diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Oxygen carbon dioxide diffusion occur in the alveoli, which is not a part of conducting system. Question 154. Identify the microorganism which is responsible for production of immunosuppressive molecule cyclosporin A. So the correct answer is 1, which is Trichoderma polysporum. 155. Under normal physiological condition in human being, every 100 ml of oxygenated blood can deliver dash ml of oxygen to the tissue. So this is a factual answer where it is option 2, that is 5 ml. 156. Tegmina in cockroach arises from. So you know tegmina is one of the wings of cockroach and it arises from the mesothorax. Option number 2. 157. In situ conservation refers to. So the correct answer is option number 1, that is to protect and conserve the whole ecosystem. 158. Detrivores break down detritus into smaller particles. The process is called as. So the correct answer is fragmentation. Catabolism, as you know, is a breakdown of complex organic into simple organic, process like respiration. And decomposition is after the death of organism. So detrivores will break down, which is called as fragmentation. Question 159. A dehydration reaction links two glucose molecule to produce maltose. If the formula of glucose is C6H12O6, then what is the formula for maltose? So the correct answer for this is number 3, that is C12H22O11. As you know, maltose is a disaccharide. So disaccharide is formed by combining two molecules of monosaccharide. And maltose is a disaccharide formed by combining two molecules of glucose. Next, 160. Identify the asexual reproductive structure associated with penicillium. So correct answer is option 2, that is conidia, which are the asexual spores of penicillium which develop inside conidiopores. Next, question 161. Select the incorrect statement with reference to mitosis. Correct answer here is number 2, that is spindle fiber attached to the centromere of chromosome. Now you should know that spindle fibers don't attach directly to the centromere, they are attached to the kinetochore, which are the membranes around centromere. 162. Which of the following statement with respect to endoplasmic reticulum is incorrect? And the answer is number 3, that is in prokaryotes only RER are present. So RER is rough endoplasmic reticulum, and endoplasmic reticulum is a cell organelle of endomembrane system. In prokaryotes we don't find any membrane bound organelle. So option 3 is incorrect. Next, 163. In taxonomic categories, which hierarchical arrangement in ascending order is correct in case of animals? Now see, here they were specifically about animal. So the first correct option is option number 1, where first highest category is kingdom and the lowest is species. Now because they have asked about animal, the second category I would take it as a phylum instead of division. If it would have been for plant, we would have taken division. So the correct option number 1. Next, 164. In which of the following animals digestive tract has additional chambers like crop and gizzard? So you know, crop and gizzards are found mainly in case of birds. So basically we have to select which of the group contain all birds, and the correct answer is number 4, that is pavo, that is common peafowl, Psittacula, that is parrot, and corvus, that is crow. So it is option number 4. Next, 165. Again two statements. Statement 1, mycoplasma can pass through less than 1 micron filter size. So as you know, this statement is correct because mycoplasmas are as small as 0.3 microns. So they can pass through the filter. Statement 2, mycoplasma are bacteria with cell wall. This is incorrect. Mycoplasma are the only prokaryotes which are without cell wall. So the correct answer would be number 3, that is statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. Next, 166. Which of the following is not a connective tissue? So as you can see here, the correct answer would be neuroglia, because blood, adipose connective tissue and cartilage, these are all connective tissues, whereas neuroglia comes under nervous tissue. Next, 167. Nitrogenous waste is excreted in the form of pellet or paste. Again, pellet or paste means it is excreted in the form of uric acid, and this is done by birds. So we have to select about the bird out of this 4. So obviously the answer is pavo, that is again a common peafowl. Next, 168. This is an assertion reason type of question. So assertion is all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrate. So obviously this statement, the assertion which is given is correct, that all vertebrates are chordate, but all chordates are not vertebrate, because under chordata we have urochordata and cephalochordata which are not vertebrates as they don't have vertebral column. Now the reason given is notochord is replaced by vertebral column in the adult vertebrate. So this statement is also correct, and it is also the correct explanation. As you know, every chordates are born in embryonic stage with notochord, and when during the development notochord changes into vertebral column, then the animals are called vertebrate. So here the correct option would be number 1, that is both assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Next, question 169. Which of the following is a correct match for disease and its symptom? So here the correct answer is number 1, arthritis, which is inflamed joints. You know, every term ending with itis indicate inflammation. In the second option, tetany, they have given high calcium level, which is wrong. It should be low calcium level. And myasthenia gravis and muscular dystrophy are just interchange. Myasthenia gravis is autoimmune disorder and muscular dystrophy is genetic disorder. So here the correct option would be number 1. Next, Question 170, that is again an assertion reason type of question. Here assertion is osteoporosis is characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chances of fracture. So this statement is correct. In osteoporosis, the bone mass decreases, so bones become brittle and there are more chances of fractures. While reason given is common cause of osteoporosis is increased level of estrogen. Now this is where they are wrong. It is decreased level of estrogen. In fact, in female, osteoporosis chances are more after menopause, because till menopause they have high level of estrogen, which causes deposition of calcium in the bone and make their bone stronger. So after menopause, females have more chances of osteoporosis and hence they are advised to take calcium supplement. So here the correct answer would be number 3. That is, assertion is correct, but reason is not correct. Next, 171. In an E. coli, strain I gene gets mutated and its product cannot bind the inducer molecule. So if the I gene gets mutated, the product is repressor protein that cannot bind with the inducer. If growth medium is provided with lactose is an inducer, what will be the outcome? So here the correct answer would be number 2, that is Z, Y and A gene will be transcribed. Because if the I gene is mutated, only the repressor protein formation will be affected. It won't affect the transcription of the 3 gene, that is Z, Y and A. So the correct option is 2. Next, 172. If the length of DNA molecule is 1.1 meter, and what will be the approximate number of base pair? So the distance between two base pair would be 0.34 nanometers or 3.4 angstrom. This is the distance between two consecutive base pair. So when we divide 1.1 meter by 0.34 nanometer, you will get the correct answer as option 1, which is 3.3 into 10⁹ base pairs. Next, 173. Which of the following statements are true for spermatogenesis but they do not hold true for oogenesis? So in this particular question, the correct answer is number 2, B and C only. That is, differentiation of gamete occurs after completion of meiosis. So this will hold true for spermatogenesis but not for oogenesis. And second, meiosis occurs continuously in a mitotically dividing stem cell population. Again true for spermatogenesis. As you know, in oogenesis, the process stops multiple times. It stops at birth, then again it restarts at puberty, again it stops at ovulation, again it restarts after penetration of sperm into ovum. So the two statements are applicable to spermatogenesis, not applicable to oogenesis. Statement A is results in formation of haploid gamete. This is applicable for both. Statement D is controlled by LH and FSH secreted by anterior pituitary. So gametogenesis is only controlled by FSH, not by LH, and that too in both. And it is initiated at puberty. So this is applicable to spermatogenesis. So the question correct answer would be option number 2. Next, which of the following is present between the adjacent bones of vertebral column? Adjacent bones of vertebral column means they are asking us what is present between two adjacent vertebrae. The correct answer is intervertebral disc, but as you can see they haven't given that option. So here the correct answer would be cartilage, because intervertebral discs are nothing but a fibrous cartilage. Next, regarding meiosis, which of the statement is incorrect? So in this case the correct answer would be number 2. That is, DNA replication occurs in the S phase of meiosis 2. Now this meiosis 2 is incorrect because DNA replication occurs during S phase of interphase. That is a phase between two successive cell division. Next, 176. Given below are two statements. Statement 1. Autoimmune disorder is a condition where body's defense mechanism recognizes its own cell as a foreign body. So obviously this statement is correct. But next, statement 2. Rheumatoid arthritis is a condition where body does not attack self-cell. So does not attack is wrong because rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease, which means your body's immune system will attack your own cell. So the correct option would be 3. That is, statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. Next, 177. Natural selection where more individuals acquire specific character. So specific character means they are talking about the peripheral character value other than the mean character value. So in this case the answer would be number 3, that is disruptive change, because more individuals are acquiring the peripheral character and not the mean character. So that means the answer is number 3. Next, 178. Again the statement question. Statement number 1, that is the coagulum is formed of network of thread called as thrombins. So obviously this statement is incorrect because it should not be network of thread called thrombin, but it is network of thread called fibrins. And spleen is the graveyard of RBC or erythrocytes, which is correct. So the correct answer is number 4. Statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. Next, 179. Breeding crops with higher level of vitamins and minerals or higher protein and healthier fats is called. So as you know, the technique is called as biofortification, that is number 3, because we are adding additional nutrient in the crop to improve their nutrient content. Next, 180. In the gene therapy of adenosine deaminase deficiency, the patient requires periodic infusion of genetically engineered lymphocyte. So as you know, deficiency of ADA leads to a disease called SCID, that is severe combined immunodeficiency. And here the patient needs to be given repeated infusion of genetically engineered lymphocyte. That's because of number 4, that is genetically engineered lymphocytes are not immortal cells. So it's not that once you infuse them, they remain lifelong. They will die after some time. So we need to replace them, and hence patient has to be given this infusion periodically. Next one, 181. At which stage of life the oogenesis process is initiated? So the correct answer is number 2, that is embryonic developmental stage. You know that oogenesis begins in embryonic stage, stops at birth, restarts at puberty, stops at ovulation, again restarts after penetration of sperm. Whereas spermatogenesis starts only at puberty and then it continues throughout life. So the correct answer is number 2. 182. Lippes loop is a type of contraceptive which is used as non-medicated IUD. As Lippes loop does not release any hormone, only the presence of Lippes loop in the uterus increases phagocytic activity, and that will cause phagocytosis of the sperm and prevents fertilization. Next, 183. Which of the following function is not performed by secretion from salivary gland? So as you know, the secretion of salivary gland is saliva. Option 1, it controls bacterial population in mouth. That's correct, because saliva contains lysozyme which prevent growth of bacteria. Digestion of complex carbohydrate is correct. Saliva has salivary amylase which digests starch into maltose. C. Lubrication of oral cavity is again correct, but the number 4, that is digestion of disaccharide, this is not the function of saliva. Saliva does not digest disaccharide, but it digests polysaccharides. Then 184. If 8 Drosophila in a laboratory population of 80 died during a week, so in a population of 80 Drosophila, what they have said is 8 are dead. So the death rate in a population is dash individual per Drosophila per week. So now they are asking you for 1 Drosophila, what is the death rate per week? This is what you have to find out. So obviously this would be 8 upon 80, which is 1 upon 10, and 1 upon 10 means answer is 0.1. So that's option number 1. Next, the last question of section A, again the statement question. Statement number 1, that is restriction endonuclease recognize specific sequence to cut DNA known as palindromic nucleotide sequence. So you know that this statement is correct. Restriction endonuclease always identifies the palindromic sequence. Statement 2, restriction endonuclease cut the DNA strand a little away from the center of palindromic site. So this also is correct, which means the option number 1, that is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Now we move to section B, that is 186 number question. Which of the following is a correct statement? So here the correct answer is number 1. Cyanobacteria are a group of autotrophic organisms classified under kingdom Monera. So you know cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae, they are photosynthetic bacteria. So they are autotrophs and they come under Monera. Number 2 is bacteria are exclusively heterotrophs. So that's wrong because cyanobacteria are autotroph. Slime molds are saprophytic organism. That's correct. But they have written they are classified under Monera, which is wrong. That comes under Protista. And mycoplasma have DNA ribosome. That's correct. But mycoplasma don't have cell wall. So this option is also wrong. So the correct option is number 1. Next, 187 question. Statement related to human insulin are given below. Which statement or statements are correct about? See, very important to note, they have asked you genetically engineered insulin. That means all the statement which are related to natural insulin we have to exclude. We have to only select statement which are correct with respect to genetically engineered insulin. So here the correct answer is number 1, that is A, B and D. Why C is wrong? In C they have written insulin used for treating diabetes was extracted from cattle and pigs. The statement is correct, but it is wrong with respect to genetically engineered. For genetically engineered insulin we don't take from cattle and pigs. Similarly, statement E, some patients develop allergic reaction to the foreign insulin. This is again correct, but that is pertaining to natural insulin and not genetically engineered. So we can't take that. So the correct answer is number 1. Next, 188. Again the statement question. Statement number 1. In a scrubber, the exhaust from thermal plant is passed through the electric wire to charge the dust particle. Now you know this kind of thing is done in electrostatic precipitator and not in a scrubber. So that is incorrect. Next, statement 2. Particulate matter PM 2.5 cannot be removed by scrubber but can be removed by an electrostatic precipitator. So that's correct. So the correct answer is number 4. Statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. Next, 189. Now what is question 189? The recombination frequency between the gene A and C is 5%, B and C is 15%, B and D is 9%, A and B is 20%, and C and D is 24%, and finally A and D is 29%. Now see, this they have given is recombination frequency. So as you know, if the two genes are far, they are apart, then the chances of recombination are more. So here if you see A and D has the highest chance of recombination, that means A and D are present at the extreme. Now I have to take the recombination frequency which is least, which is between A and C, which means A and C are very close. That's why the recombination frequency is low. So C has to be near to A, and then obviously B will come somewhere in between. Now just to cross check, A and C are close, so recombination frequency is low. A and D are farthest, so recombination frequency is maximum, and between B and C the recombination frequency is medium, that is around 15%. So the correct option would be A, C, B and D, that is option number 4. Next, question 190, which is match the columns. Here the correct answer would be number 4, that is glycogen is a storage product for animal cell. Then globulin, you know, they make antibodies, gamma globulins. Steroids, steroid are the hormone, our sex hormone, testosterone, estrogen, they are all steroids. And thrombin, being an enzyme, will act as a biocatalyst. So the correct answer is number 4. Next, 191, again match the column. Here the correct answer would be number 2. Diaphragms are, they cover the cervix and they block the entry of sperm, because diaphragm would cover the cervical opening. Then contraceptive pills inhibit ovulation and implantation, because you know they are the hormonal pills. Intrauterine devices, this will increase phagocytosis of sperm within the uterus, and as a result of that chances of fertilization decrease. And lactational amenorrhea, that is absence of menstruation during lactation, during breastfeeding, so that is also correct. So option number 2. Next, question 192, which of the following are not the effects of parathyroid hormone? So basically they have asked you choose the most appropriate answers from the options given below. So you have to select which are not the effects of parathyroid hormone. The correct answer would be number 2, that is B, D and E. So B is decreased calcium level. Parathyroid hormone will increase calcium level in blood. Then D, decrease absorption of calcium from digested food. Again parathyroid hormone would increase and not decrease. And E statement is increased metabolism of carbohydrates. So parathyroid hormone does not affect carbohydrate metabolism. So these 3 statements are not related to parathyroid hormone. So correct answer is number 2. Next, 193, select the incorrect statement with respect to acquired immunity. Here the answer is 4. That is, acquired immunity is non-specific type of defense present at the time of birth. You know that acquired immunity is not a non-specific, it is highly specific defense. The option number 2 and 3, they have written anamnestic response. Remember, anamnestic response is nothing but secondary immune response. So first time when you are exposed to a pathogen, it is primary response. Second time, when the same pathogen enters, it gives a secondary immune response, also known as anamnestic response. So statement 1, 2, 3 are correct, and incorrect is number 4. That is, acquired immunity is non-specific. Next, question number 194. 10 E. coli cells with N15 double-stranded DNA are incubated in a medium containing N14 nucleotide. after 60 minutes, you know that E. coli, one cycle would last for 20 minutes. So when I say 60 minutes, this equals to 3 cycles of replication. 3 cycles. How many E. coli cells will have DNA totally free from N15? Totally free from N15 means you have to find out how many of this DNA would be only with N14. Both the strands of DNA should be with N14. So here when you do this calculation, after 3 cycle, one DNA molecule will give you 6 molecules with N14 in one DNA. But we have not started with 1 E. coli cells, we have started with 10 E. coli cells. So 6 molecules multiply by 10, that will give me 60 molecules with N14. So the correct answer would be number 3, that is 60 cells. 195. If a colorblind female, now female is colorblind, so her genotype would be XC, and she marries with a man whose mother was also colorblind. Now remember, color blindness is X-linked crisscross inheritance. So if a male's mother was colorblind, that means male will inherit the gene. So male is also colorblind. Now in this case, you will get total 2 gametes here, which are XC, and here also you get 2 gametes XC and Y. In this case, every offspring that will be produced out of this, all 100% offspring would be colorblind, because mother was also colorblind and father was also colorblind. So 100% offsprings are colorblind. Next, which of the following is not a desirable feature of cloning vector? So obviously the correct answer is number 3, that is presence of single restriction enzyme site. We want the cloning vector to have multiple restriction enzyme site and not a single site. Next one, again match the columns. So here the correct answer is number 1, that is bronchioles will have ciliated epithelium as it is respiratory system. Goblet cells glandular tissue because they secrete mucus. Tendons are dense regular connective tissue, and adipose connective tissue will come under loose connective tissue. So the correct answer is number 1. 198. Which one of the following statement is correct? Here the correct answer is number 2, that is the tricuspid and bicuspid valves open due to pressure which is exerted by simultaneous contraction of the atria. So during atrial systole, both right and left atria contract simultaneously, which will put pressure on bicuspid and tricuspid valves. They open and 30% of blood from atria passes into ventricle. So the correct answer is number 2. Next, 199. Select the incorrect statement regarding synapses. So here the incorrect is number 4, where they have written impulse transmission across a chemical synapse is always faster than across the electrical synapse. So that's incorrect, because electrical synapse mein chemical transmission is much faster than chemical synapse. And the last one, that is which of the following statement is not true? So again, number 4, flippers of penguin and dolphin are a pair of homologous organ. So they can't be homologous organ as they have a different origin. So they are called analogous organ, because flipper of penguin and dolphin, they both help in swimming, but they do not have same origin. They have a different origin and hence they are not homologous. So the incorrect statement here is number 4. Right? So this was analysis of 50 questions of zoology. Compared to last year, I would say the paper was moderately difficult. I am comparing it with last year, but still it was manageable, and I hope you all have done very well. Thank you very much once again on the behalf of Arihant Academy. I am Dr. Devang Parikh. Thank you very much.